There we go. I think we are all live. Right. Okay, let's get on with it. So, yes, good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world to everybody. This is the June edition of the Welsh Azure user group virtual meetup, 19th of June, 6:30 p.m. in the UK here. So, and it's great to see we've got a couple of speakers from around the globe this month to come in and talk to us all about the wonderful world of AI in various guises. So, super engagement again for this month's session. So, without further ado, just to give you a little bit of a heads up of the user group, as always, this is a local community user group, even though we've got folks joining us from, across the country and Europe and further abroad. So, look, welcome if wherever you might be. Everybody is, of course, welcome. It's a community user group. We try and put sessions on that are, kind of suited to our audience members. So every month we'll give a QR code at the end just for a bit of feedback. But if you've got any ideas or thoughts, or you want to join in or speak, please feel free to reach out to either myself and Matt. There's our LinkedIn URLs there, and we're on Twitter, or X as it's known now. Yeah, I love that picture of you as well, Matt. That's a good one. But yeah, feel free, reach out to us, say hello, get to know us, and get part of the user group. More than welcome to have you on at any point in time. As far as our speakers go this evening, we've got another two fantastic speakers. So, again, thanks a huge amount to those guys for giving up their time to come onto the user group and talk us through something of value, something of education. So we've got Harsh will be kicking things off in a second with his talk entitled Beyond Boundaries. So looking at Azure AI for next generation AI applications. So, really quite a significant point. I'm sure we'll all agree wherever we work at the moment, we're going to be talking AI in some capacity. So looking forward to Harsh's talk in a short while. And then Mykola is joining us then again of a similar theme, but how do we process documents using all the services that we've got within Azure? So again, really looking forward to that. I think I've got a few little ideas where we might be going with that, but really intrigued to see where Mykola takes us in his talk there. So again, two kind of paired up talks. I'm hoping they'll be complementary to each other. I've got no doubt they will. But again, thank you to the speakers. It really is appreciated that you give up your time to come on and educate us in some of the areas that you've been looking at lately. As far as timing goes, I'll be quiet in a couple of minutes, so I'll just go through the quick housekeeping. But Harsh will be kicking us off in about 5 or 10 minutes with Mykola, roughly about 45, 50 minutes from now, about 7:30. That's UK BST. Don't forget, after Mykola's talk, we've got the quiz. And as always, got some really good spot prizes. There we are with the famous Quizar platform, right, Matt? It's had a recent update, and but we'll get to that. If you want to go back through the Welsh Azure YouTube library, you'll find a really great talk Matt did on how he developed that Quizar platform, and it's quite a cool platform. That's open source, of course, as well. So get the links to it. But yeah, stick around, feel free. We've got, again, due to our friends at Packet, we've got a couple of ebooks to give away. We've got the Azure IoT Handbook by Dan Clark, and we've also got implementing CI/CD using Azure pipelines. Two ebooks. So again, we'll work out what prize number we give them in the quiz. And we've got, as always, got a couple of Amazon gift cards there to give away. So always stocked up for prizes in this quiz, aren't we? So want everybody to be happy. So yeah, we should, roughly speaking, around about 2 hours, we should be coming to a close. So, grab your popcorn and your coffees and your drinks and get ready to settle in for a couple of hours. So yeah, general kind of housekeeping rules. As always, I'd hope that everybody is well aware of these by now. If you joined the user group before, nothing's really changed, and it goes without saying a lot of these rules. But please, everybody, please do be courteous to each other. We're all here to learn, have a little bit of fun, network if we need to, and fundamentally just learn from our speakers that we've got on tonight. They're giving up their valuable time to come and talk to us about something that they found interesting and they've learned from. And like I say, it's really just a learning environment. There are no silly questions. This is the point. If you've got any question at all, now's the time to ask. At the end of the day, our speakers would have gone through the same process. They've learned by doing and doing repetitively doing, no doubt. So now's the time for those silly questions. Get them in the chat. Please do stay on mute unless one of the speakers asks you to come off. You've got full control of your video and your audio. Obviously, you know, we're all grown adults, so please just check that you're on mute and you're not making any funny sounds that will put our speakers off. I'll mute you myself if I have to, but not in a threatening way, of course. But yeah, just keep an eye on that. Like I say, just use the chat window for any questions, be interactive, you know, get to know others in the chat if you can. And please leave us a little bit of feedback at the end of the session. Like I say, I'll be putting that feedback link up if you can. That would be great. It's always useful for us, and we'll try and act on some of that feedback as well. And as I've already mentioned, don't forget to join that quiz. We got quite a few little spot prizes up today. But yeah, be interactive and enjoy the sessions. Quickly moving on into our thanking the sponsors section. So, as always with these community use groups, and certainly with the Welsh Azure use group, we've been supported pretty much from day one by Servant. Real kind of good support to us. They are pretty much an Azure pure play partner, a well-respected Microsoft partner. They've been great to support us, like I say, as a user group since day one, and they support a number of user groups across the UK. So if you are in the market for a partner, or you're looking for a new job or anything along those lines, you know, do feel free to reach out to the guys at Servant. There's a couple of slides I'm just looking through there, and you know, feel free to kind of have a little look at those in your own time there and get to know them. But huge shout out to Des and the Servant team. Likewise, we were lucky a couple of months back to bring on a locally HQ'd company called Credit Safe. They've got a HQ down in South Wales in Cardiff. So it was great to have those guys on board and support us again from a sponsorship perspective. We were lucky to have Ridian from Credit Safe join us a couple. It wasn't last month, was it? Maybe the month before, but he came on, gave us a real good talk on, you know, how Credit Safe themselves and managing that kind of multi-cloud environment from a management and admin overhead perspective. You know, how, you know, what does multi-cloud look like from Credit Safe perspective? Really good talk. Again, flick back through our back catalogue of sessions if you want to have a little look at that one. But again, a little bit about Credit Safe and who they are. But big shout out to those guys for giving us the support. It's always welcomed. And finally, already mentioned their name tonight, but a few months back, Packet came on board and have decided to give us a few ebooks for every session, which is always gratefully welcome. So we can kind of disseminate those we choose to give them away as part of our quiz prizes. So if we'll work out who it is, but if you're lucky enough to be in the top four probably tonight, you'll end up with a prize of some form, whether that be an ebook or a voucher. But yeah, big shout out to Packet. They're one of our newer sponsors, so you know, hugely appreciate the fact that they're coming on and giving away those ebooks and helping us spread the knowledge from their publications. And I think that's about it. I'm going to be quiet now, and I'm going to let the speakers get ready, and we'll kick off with our first talk. So, on that note, Harsh, I'm going to hand over to you and let you take the floor. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, John, for inviting me. So, hello everyone, how are you doing? Um, just let me know a bit of hi in case you are excited to learn about AI, or if you have tried AI before. Would love to know how have you done it so that we can get started accordingly. They can type it in the chat bot, right? Chat box, right? Hello, John.
I'm on mute there. Yeah, you know, absolutely. Do you want people just to type a few bits and pieces as to what they've done with OpenAI or Copilot? What are their experiences with AI? Is it Tash? Is that what you're looking for people to do?
Yep, maybe some of them can just write what have they done previously so that accordingly
Yeah,
we can just get started and I can
yeah,
cover those information that they haven't explored yet.
yeah, brilliant. Yeah, anybody, if you've got any experiences with AI, quickly give us a one-liner if you can in the chat of what you've done and you know, what did you use maybe. Um,
That
I
sounds great, Matthew.
I'll quickly tell you mine's probably less than Matthew. I've done a few little bits and pieces with OpenAI chatbots, started looking at the kind of vector searches using companies' private data in some of those searches. But yeah, but very minimal, only hands-on kind of demo and playing for me at the moment, Harsh.
Yep. So we'll be also having So this session, chatbots and face API, that's again great. Mykola, if I'm pronouncing it right. So let's move on to the session.
Well,
So today's session is about how you can go beyond boundaries using Azure AI and build next-gen applications. But who is me? So I'm an associate product manager at Instock, a gold MLSA, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, GitHub Campus Expert, and 7 times Microsoft Certified, which includes Microsoft Certified Educator, AI Engineer, and Data Scientist. Along with it, I'm a founder of a community named Evolved. In case you wish to connect with me regarding any of the doubts that you have or anything that you're building and you are stuck in the AI part of it, you can just scan this QR code and get through my LinkedIn or Twitter and ping me out there. I'd be more than happy to help you out. So moving on with today's session, what do we need actually to get started? So in today's session, I don't want all of you to just go theoretical, learn about something, and then be like, okay, I got to know what is Azure AI, how it works, but I don't get it. How can I use it? So we'll be creating an application today. And for that, you just need a few things. Azure for Students account, or if you are a professional Azure account, now Python 3.6 and VS Code or GitHub Codespace. So in case you don't know about GitHub Codespace, I just added it out here. Octocat will be sad, but that's fine. You can just scan this QR code in case you are a student and get through it. You will get tons of benefit, including $100 Azure credit in your Azure subscription. That would make your process very easy because your academic verification will be done through this. So you can scan it. Just take a screenshot and I'll move on. Cool. So let me know in case you haven't. I will try sharing the PPT. So maybe you can get it from there. So what are we going to do today? It's just a pinpoints about the major sections, but we'll be going about the demo about the whole Azure AI Studio and not just this. So first of all, you'll be learning how to set up a fast development environment that's just for demo purpose, then building a form, and then use a translator service to translate text. Now that translator service won't be hard coded. It will be using Azure AI service for it. And this will be the agenda, which is same to the previous one. Now, beginning to the thing. You all might think that, okay, I need to build something. Let's suppose recommendation system. Let's suppose call transcript or just speech to text or the translating service that we are doing today that translate from one language to another. You might be thinking, okay, I need to build this, but that would take a lot of time. I need to write a lot of code from scratch. That would be tons of lines of code. And the most important part to it, I need tons of data. But is it true in this scenario or in today's world? Partly, in case you want to build it in-house, but in case you don't and you are a smart developer, you can use something known as Azure AI Services. Now you might be like, okay, what is actually Azure AI Services? So first, let's explore the Azure AI Services practically, not theoretically through PPT, and then come back to set up our development environment. And also, please go ahead and write down your questions in the chat box. I will be having a look in the later half. So how you can go to Azure AI Studio? Just type in Azure AI Studio and it will come as https://ai.azure.com. Now you might say, okay, what does it contain? It contains everything that you can imagine of. You'll be like, okay, how? So let it just load and I'll show it to you. So as you can see, it says there's no recent projects. That's completely fine. But you can just check it out that it has explore cutting edge models that includes Microsoft 5 series, OpenAI. As you all know, OpenAI has partnered with Microsoft, Nextella, Core 42, and many more large and small models that can work according to you, which you can get it from the model catalog. So if you just open the model catalog, sorry, you will be getting tons of collections that you can directly integrate like an API, you can say, and you don't have to train it with your own data. It's so many that you'll get lost, but please don't, and find the best one that suits your case. So this was about the model catalog. You might say, okay, but again, it gives me a model. How about I want something, just a translator service or uh, object detection or object classification? What should I do? So for that, you have this AI services. So you can just go to get started AI services and you will get everything. So if you think there's speech, so everything related to speech, you'll be going one by one. Then language plus translator. So everything that's related to language, or if you want to just summarize, translate, everything is there. Then comes vision plus document, which includes everything that goes with images, videos, multimodal OCR, and also document recognition or text, getting text from a document, recognizing about the forms, how it should be filled. Everything is there. Sorry. And then finally, content safety. So content safety is specifically for something like you don't want any harmful or offensive languages that's present in my document, or some text or images that shouldn't be there for a particular audience. So you can use content safety and get it out filtered. So let's explore one by one. Let's first go to speech. So this you will get, but in case you want to see each and everything that's there, you can just click on other speech capabilities, view more capabilities. And this will take you to another studio, which is known as Speech Studio. As you get it from the name, this was AI Studio. So you had everything related to AI combined out there. In Speech Studio, you have everything related to speech and Azure AI out there. So let it load. Till then, let's also get the Vision Plus document loaded. So, and over here, you can integrate with generative AI in case you want, or else, as you can see, it has document intelligence, which has invoices, receipts, like everything that you need actually to build a complete application. You can try demos out here by clicking on it. Then there's face. So if you want to detect faces in an image, you can get it. It also helps you get the different pose, the different face mask if there is or not. You can also try to find facial landmarks. Next up, image analysis. So in case you are thinking like how I can caption my image, uh, I want to search the image based on a particular thing, you can do that. If you want to detect objects in an image, you can, OCR is there so that you can get the text from the images. And there are many more capabilities which you can go by clicking on this option by view more capabilities. So this will take you to a studio, which is obviously named Vision Studio. Speech Studio is ready. So let's go to Speech Studio. So this is the Speech Studio. And as you can see, it has everything like captioning with speech to text, post call transcription and analysis. So if you are in a call and you want transcription and analysis to work on the same thing, you can have it. If you want a chat avatar, you get it, and it has a very realistic AI voice. Video translation at runtime, you can do it, and there's many more. You can just cover it up. There's a ton, just go ahead and explore it. I'll be sharing the link to the AI studio. I'm just showing you how you can travel to each and everything so that you don't get lost in such a vast thing that's out there. We also have language and plus translator. So language plus translator, as you get it from the name, it shows you, gets you analyze and summarize and translate text and everything that you can do with the language. Again, it has 10 plus services out there, which is there in Language Studio, obviously. So this is our Language Studio, which again has how you can summarize information, how you can translate document. In case you want to extract sensitive information, you can get it, extract key phrases, find link entities. That's the best part I've seen till now. Named entities, then there's classify text. If you want to detect the language, sentiment, have your custom thing you can have using the custom options. If you want to build a chatbot of your own, you have these two options out there. And this again, if you want to orchestrate it, in case you want to summarize it into a smaller text, you get it out there from here. And translation, the thing that we are going to use today, you can just get it from here. Similarly, we have the Vision Studio that again has tons of things. So we have OCR, which extract text, spatial analysis in case you want to create an application that uses AR, VR, or something similar like robotics or IoT, you can obviously get it from there. For face detection, you have this, and image analysis. You can just get through it and analyze any image that you want completely using these tools. And trust me, they are having a very high accuracy. Similarly, we have the final thing, that's content safety, and that's added recently out there based on the usages that's been happening regarding responsible AI. So you can moderate text content. You can just get protected material from shields, moderate how which images are being shown and how it's shown, and get safety system messages. So this is all about Azure services. Similarly, if you want, you can get the best prompts out there by going to prompt catalog to get your task done. So this are curated by best of the prompt engineers. We also have Azure OpenAI separately. So if you want, you can try it out in the chat playground and assistant playground. And the model benchmarks so that you can better understand your model and get things done responsibly. So this is all about Azure AI Studio. Let me just share you the link. Okay, great. Alan, that sounds really cool. And Graham, that's again a cool news. That's great. I hope you'll be inventing something today out now. So yes, this was all about Azure AI Studio. In case you still have any doubts of how to get through it or how to go about it, you can ask in the end of the session or as it goes. You can also get your resources and keys out from there and quota. So there's a quota to it based on the subscription that you have. So coming back of, we explored about everything about AI Studio. Now time to implement. So I don't keep a session where we just keep theoretical. So we just saw that, okay, these are the things that's available. This is how it works, but how can I use it? So I'm showing you about one service. I want you all to go ahead, try innovating with other services that I have shown to you. And today we are going to use language plus translator service, under which we have the translator tool. Cool. So first of all, setting up your development environment. That's the most important part. So what you need to do is install Python, install VS Code, create a project directory, create a Python virtual environment, install Flask and other libraries. Okay, that's a lot. Let's do it. So this is a repository that I've created for this purpose. You can get all the Learn modules, the Microsoft Learn modules from here to actually get it, how you can use it, and it's actually inspired from there. And in case you want more resources, you can get it from this click here option. Let me share the link so that you can work along. Cool. So how you can work along with me. And I won't be using directly VS Code because I feel I need to just clone it, then install Python. That's a heavy task for me. So what I'll be doing is using GitHub Codespace. So I'll be clicking on Codespace. And in case you have the GitHub Pro subscription, you'll be getting it. Else there's, I think, 10 hours of credit that you can use. So this is a space that I already created. So I'll be clicking on it. In your case, it might ask you to create a new one. Uh, just click on create a new code space and it will create a new code space for you, which has everything cloned. It's like a virtual machine and it's just, I don't say copy, but it's just like VS Code in the browser. Or else, if you are a VS Code person, what you can do is click over here, click on this dots, open in VS Code. Sorry. And we'll open the same thing in VS Code, but the only difference is it will be running in a virtual environment and it has all the basic libraries like Python, Java, C++, everything installed for you. So you don't have to work all the way to create it. And it's also like a container, so Docker. So if you are familiar with Docker, you can just configure it the way you want by adding the files. So this is our application. Now, what you need to do is once this opens, your Python is already there, the latest version. VS Code is not needed, but if you are running it on VS Code, you need VS Code. Next, what we had was create project directory. We already have the project directory there. Then create a Python virtual environment. That's not needed because we are already running it in a virtual environment. Install Flask and other libraries. So for that, I've created requirements.txt where I have added the things that's required like Flask, python.env to actually uh, like get things from .env file and have encryption, then request to send and receive requests. Now, how to install it? Type pip3 install -r requirements.txt and it will install all the requirements that's there. It's simply that I've added, okay, to go to application. So first go to application folder because it's inside application folder and then run this. So when you run this, you'll be getting that it's installed or it will install it. Once it's done, you are ready with the development environment. Okay, great. Now what's next? So we are talking about Flask a lot, but what is Flask? What is this? So let's understand a bit of it so that in case in the future you want to create front-end applications using Azure AI Service, you can do it. And that's why it was named building next gen applications. So you can build next generation applications using, obviously you need a framework for it and Azure Services. So we have the Flask. Flask is an open source web micro framework. What does it mean? It's an open source, that's fine. It's there in web, so it can create websites. What is a micro framework? The micro framework means it is a very small package which has all the things combined and components present so that you can directly use it. And it makes your task very simple. Now you might ask me how. But before that, you need to understand about URLs. So in case you don't know what is URL, let me just share with you. So when a user uses a web application, they need to be redirected to an HTML code. Now, all the websites contain HTML code in the end. Now, those HTML code is stored in a server. Now server has tons of code. It's like you are asking a food delivering application that, okay, you have tons of restaurants. I want to pick one and get food from there. How can I get it? So you need to get to that particular thing that, okay, this restaurant, and tell the uh, food delivering app, okay, I want this restaurant thing, this food. Similarly, we have the URLs, which tells the server that, okay, I want this particular page content on my browser, which works like this. So if this is your URL, it says, get me the main page of adventureworks.com. If this is the URL, then it says, get me the details on a widget of adventureworks.com, and similar and so forth. So it's just like clicking on telling the server that, okay, I want this particular HTML content and just get me to it, which is guided through a resource locator, which is named URL. That's it. Now we have two methods for this, get and post. I don't think it's required to cover right now. So let's skip it. Uh, this will be our flow of the web form that we are building. So user will send a request of getting the form. The server will send the form to us. The user will complete it, and it will be again sent to the server. So we'll process and give us the results. Now you might say get and post both are sending. Yes, both can send, and that's what's there in the previous thing. That regardless of the verb used, information can always be returned to the user and sent using get and post. Um, this will be our flask from the code. So it's simple at the rate app route. So we are getting the route that we said URL, the method that we are defining out there, then the Python function that def index, and return me the render template index.html. Now, what is this render template index.html? And similar so forth. But what is it? So templates are something that allows you to structure a page while dynamically display data. Now, what do I mean? So as you can see, it's a HTML thing. If you write this curly braces, third brace, and the thing which is passed as a variable, you can get it dynamically done. And it's similar to HTML, as you can see out here in the application. In under the templates, you store all the HTML files. The index.html has complete HTML code. Similarly, results.html has the complete HTML code. It's just that the things that we are passing out here is in this format. That's it. Cool. And similarly, app.py has that same function that we said, along with a few more things added, which I'll be coming through when we are implementing the Azure translator. Sorry. So Flask is like Python, and I hope you got it because it looks Python, and it is Python. The .py extension, it's Python. So it becomes easier for developers like you to just go ahead, create something cool today or innovate something. Now, let's not keep the knowledge check and go to translation. Now, translation is, as you get it, it's the translator service which will translate to and from dozens of languages out there. As you can see on the screen, hello is translated in runtime to different languages. And it's part of the cognitive service. So cognitive service is an umbrella to different Azure AI services, which you saw right now. To call the translator service, you'll be needing a key, and it should never be stored in your source code. And that's why we have the .env file. But what is a key? Where do I find it? And why do I need it? Let's first create a translator service. How you can create a translator service? So either you can go out here and create it using this option, or the most traditional part of it, I'll be showing you the second one also, is Azure portal. So welcome to your Azure portal. It has all the services, not just AI services, listed for you, and Copilot waiting to help you out. So how you can create the translator service is you can just type in out here trans, and it showed me translators. I'll click on it. This opens for me. I already have a few translator service up and running, but if you want to create a new one, just click on create. Choose the subscription that you want. I have 2 subscriptions. You can choose. If you have multiple, you can choose which one you want. You need to create or click on a resource group, choose a resource group. So resource group is where all the resources are combined, and it makes it easier for billing, monitoring and networking purposes. Choose a region. So choose a region that's closest to your end customers. Give it a unique name and choose the pricing tier. You can get the full pricing details over here. Next up, if you want it to be a LAN, WAN, or MAN, or something like that, you can just select the networks. If you want it to be globally accessible, you can just choose all networks. Similarly, if you want some IAM policies, you can choose identity and give it tags to recognize it. Next, click on review and create and just create it. I'm not creating a new one, but that's the only step you need to do. And your translator service is ready. So let's take one. So I'm just taking Eduverse 123. So this is a translator service. And if you are not sure how does the response come and go, there's something for you. So you can just click over here and try it. So this is how you need to send. You can choose the 2 languages from tons of languages that's out there. Let me choose Assamese. It turns in hello to hola. We get this is how you need to send the request, and this is how you will get the response. Now this makes it very simple for you to get the text and work on it and understand how it works. Similarly, in case you need the sample code in C#, Go, Java, Node.js, Python, you get it from here. You can just copy and paste it. If you want more guidance, you can get it from here. You can check the source code from you on GitHub. And in case you want to insert the keys and region, you can do it. Now, what is keys and region? Let me show it to you. So if you just go to keys and endpoint, this is the secret that you need to store. Now, secret, yes. So without keys and region, no one will be able to call this API. So API requires a few things, which is key and region in this case. Never share your key, and if you did, please regenerate. Okay. It has web API and containers based on what you need. Coming back to our overview, we got the sample code, we got the keys and endpoint. Now, if you want to monitor it, you can just monitor it from here. You can get data for 15 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 30 days. You'll get something like this: the total number of errors, 0, total false, request latency, errors, characters translated, and characters string. You can get everything from here, and this is pretty cool because it helps you log and get the things. Similarly, if you want encryption, you can have it, change the pricing tier, get networking, identity, cost if you want to check. Similarly, if you want to set alerts that, okay, if something goes wrong or crosses a budget, you get an alert. You want to get the metrics, logs, each and everything, you get it from here. And similarly, if you want to automate the creation, you can just export the template. So you got everything about the Azure translator, and similarly, it works for all other Azure AI services. It's not just for this. So all these things you are getting for all the services too. So going back, you got to know about this. So now you're sure that, okay, first Azure, then the world. You can conquer everything through Azure and its portal. Now we'll create a translator service. This is again the QR code for the GitHub link. You already have it, so I'm not keeping it out here. Then you obtain a translator service key and store it in the .env file. Now let's go to our code. So You get your original text from the request form, target language. You add your keys endpoint from here, which is stored in the .env file. I've kept it public because I'm using the free key and I want you all to try it out. So you can just go ahead and run the app. You have the path, which needs to validate the target language parameter. All of this you will be getting to the sample code. You don't have to worry about it. And then just rendering that text and passing the parameters. Now let's just run this and see how it works. So this was our application. We are passing and converting it into, let's say, German and translate. It did it in a few seconds and it's here. You can try another one by clicking over it. So, yep, this was all about today's session of how you can actually go about Azure AI Studio. What are the different services that it has? And finally, you created a website that converts text. So, and if you want to deploy your website, you can get it from here. Connecting IoT devices, create machine learning models of your own. Everything, you can just scan this QR code and you'll be directed to a cheat sheet that I've created where you can get everything related to AI or Azure and any other resources that you have in your mind. So in this workshop, you came, you saw, and you coded with me. And I hope you got to learn something new today. If you want, you can share your feedback by scanning this or to the final form that will be there. Thanks everyone for joining in. And in case you have any queries, you can drop it in the chat.
Harsh, that was fantastic. Really good tour as well. Certainly some bits that I hadn't seen in there. So no, thank you for that. How are we for questions? I don't think we got any more questions. What we got? Actually, there are a couple in the chat there. I don't know if you can see the chat there, Harsh, but there's a couple of questions. Is there a speech-to-speech service? Is the first one there at the bottom of the list? I don't know if you know that.
Could you please confirm, like, speech to speech? What do you mean? So is it like translate speech to another speech service? In case it's yes, then yes, there's a service. So you can just
Yes, yeah.
got it. So yes, you can just translate from one language to another. Let's go over here. So if you go to the speech one, you can get it speech to text, text to speech. So you can just get it from the translator service, which converts it at real time.
You've
Or
not
in
got your
case it
screen on
doesn't,
share, Harsh. I don't know if you were trying to share your screen,
okay,
but
sorry.
I think together with that, you know, by Vab, I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if it's not. He's asking if it's fast enough for real time translations. So my understanding is yes. That's predominantly what it's aimed at, more often than not, right?
Okay, so is it visible right now?
Yeah, no, we can see your screen.
Okay. So in case you have any doubt regarding how you can do it, of like anything that comes to your mind, you can just type speech to speech translation Azure, just add the word Azure, and you'll be getting to the best document that's out there in Microsoft 11. So yes, we have a speech translation in Azure AI Services. It might happen that some of the things get lost in this thing out here because it contains a lot. But yes, there's a service which you can directly use, like an API that I did right now. So everything is there. Let me share the link for you.
No, that's great. Thanks, Harsh. I don't think there are any other questions there, but no, that was fantastic. Thanks so much for kind of taking the time and talking us through that. There's, like I say, I'll probably rewatch that and grab some of those links and start doing some of those sessions because there's enough in there to start learning about, right? So if everybody wants to show their appreciation for Harsh, use the react button or come off mute and say thank you for your time. But fantastic session. Thanks again, Harsh. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm staying here to
Absolutely.
listen to
Yeah,
other
feel
sessions.
free. Feel free. Mykola, we'll hand over to Mykola now, but you feel free to stick around and do the quiz as well at the end. But huge thanks again, Harsh. We'll catch up soon. But I'll hand straight over to Mykola now, if you're ready, sir.
Yeah, I'm ready. Hello everyone again. So let me share my screen. Just a second. Hopefully.
Yeah, got you.
So yeah, hello everyone. And today I will talk about processing documents by Azure Services. In previous session, you saw a lot of the powerful and grateful services from Azure. So in my session, I will talk about it more and covers a lot of services and discuss about it. But our focus, it is a processing documents, is really important in different business that I worked. So yeah, and about me, my name is Kolomiiets Mykola. I am solution architect and application security lead at Nix. Probably that's all. And about this session, here I will describe a little bit more about AI services. Especially, we deep dive into Azure AI Document Intelligence Service. It is a very important thing in my session because it is a grateful service for some startups, for some small business, for starting, for touching something before investment and before start doing something bigger. And also about how to create infrastructure around services. Yeah, I mean about more architecture perspective, about how we can use services and how we can use Azure itself for hosting, for running system with AI services, and summarize a little bit. So first of all, about AI, and again I don't know, maybe from different places you can hear these words. Yeah, and it is a really big step in the future. Yeah, our business is changed because we have AI in the different methods, forms and so on. And it is a really good stuff for helping business doing some job faster, better, clearly, and cheaper. And our tasks, our goals here, it is a help our customers be aware about AI carefully, because I know a lot of the cases when we can spend more time on creating infrastructure or creating non-functional requirements around the system instead business root itself. We can spend a lot of the time on machine learning training stuff and we'll never roll out this product. It can be, and why in my session I can explain why we can choose some Azure services for startups, for starting before big investment in the next product. So why Azure services? Again, in previous session you can saw that Azure AI services really easy to integrate in your application. So it is just an API. It is just a REST API that you can call with the data that you need and receive some response from service, from processing, from return the result that you can use in your system by the different business rules. Next point, it is scalability. So you don't need to create big amount work about infrastructure. No, you can just start use this API, and you don't need to care about scalability, about how to deploy it, hosting. So it is easy to integrate and scale. So you can see by Azure documentations that what exactly quotas, what exactly possibilities provides by service. So you can expect how many requests you can do to this API, what is the data can be processed, what amount of the data can be processed by this service. So it is easy to do and expect. It is very important in building service systems. Sorry. And next point, it is a wide range of services. Azure, Microsoft Azure provides a lot of the different types of the services, and start from the machine learning stuff and provides ability to create your own model, and end of the ready for some SaaS solutions. Then when you can just start use it. It is a bot services, it is a cognitive services, and etc. So it is a really helpful and grateful for starting doing something. Next point, integration and interoperability. It is about more that this services is integrated to Azure ecosystem. So some services in Azure can be integrated by together without additional code, additional configurations, additional painful stuff, because Azure provides us to do that easily. And you just tell some services that you configure, easy way to work together. And next and last point here, but it is not last in our real world, and it is a security and compliance. I know a lot of the cases when some hackers stoles information, stoles models, stoles data from the system by AI services that was been developed or built by just a team. It is not some cloud provider is hosting. No, it is some from the scratch. And I found that sometimes we are focusing only on business requirements, business goals, and totally forgot about security compliance stuff around it. And when you try to build this from the scratch, you can forget about it, and you can lost data, you can lost model itself, you can lost trust for your customer, for your client, and it is a very, very bad for all of us. So when you choose Azure AI services, Azure provides you this security and compliance. So all of the information that will be processed by Azure will be processed by Azure and securely way, safety way. And Azure provides you a lot of the compliances list, so you can trust, we can trust Azure, and we can, just shift responsibility on these points to the Azure, and we don't need to care a lot about it. We just need to use these services correctly. Safety, it is about keys that we need to store, safety, and so on. So it is a really helpful and can save your customers, save you for some hackers and so on. Well, what services provides by the Azure? First of all, and biggest that I touched before, it is a bot services plus cognitive services. So here you can create by the easy way some bot service that can answer on some questions. It can be assistants, it can be different assistants, yeah, by the different channels, by the different user inputs. So these bot services includes different user inputs, channels, and bot intelligence together, and you just focusing on your business goals and what exactly need to do in your bot system, you know. So you just configure and write business business code, you know. You just write a code that should do your business requirements, and all the non-functionality stuff is covered by the Azure. So it is a really helpful tool. Next one, it is a Azure Search. It is a combining some tools in services by Azure that really help to create grateful tools for searching data by the different type of the data. So you can prepare your some doc file, PDF files, some non-structured files, and prepare it the same structure for search, Azure Search, and you can, you know, search by anything in the everywhere. So it is a really helpful, really good service. Of course, it is a I don't know, it is a right now I see that this service is not so popular yet, but I see that it is growing, and this service, you know, has a lot of the new features by the time. So I see that it will be a helpful tool in the future. And here you can see a lot of the services that provided by Azure. It is again translator, speech service, language understanding. But in this list, grateful for me service, it is a face API and face recognition. And I can tell you about some projects that we finished with this service. It is a face recognition and find person on the list of the images. So in this project, we just use services from Azure. It is a face recognition, and you can put a lot of the images from some event, for example, team building or whatever. And you know, usually you can find, you want to find you on list of the images. Just, you know, you want to see you on these pictures, yeah. And this project helps you with that, because you can not you, maybe some organizer, or I don't know, maybe admin, upload all of the images in the system. Azure will process all of them, and after that you can take a photo, selfie, for example, on the cell phone, and ask the system find you on this in this event. And Azure, by your picture and amount list of the images in the system, find only you and provide list of the images. So it is a really, we try to do it by Azure from the scratch and try to do that from the scratch without any cloud services. I mean AI services. And I saw that quality and time, of course, with the Azure was being bigger because we didn't spend a lot of the time on the infrastructure. Yeah, we focusing only on some codes for transferring images, for getting, for uploading images, and UI stuff. Yeah, and when we start work on, and sorry, back to the cloud services, we didn't care about scalability and performance issues in this case. But when we are working from the scratch, when we try to recognize the image, create a vector, find a similarity between different faces, we found that it is a really, really hard to do because this process is really hardest, and we concerned about performance. So why you need to just create a simple application or POC or MVP, Azure AI Services is pretty good here. And continue talking about AI services. Here you can see it is a Azure AI Document Intelligence. This service is focusing only on extracting data from the documents, different type of the documents. And here it is a document analysis. So this service can extract data from different type of the documents. It is an image or whatever, with a different structure. It can be some text, it can be tables, checkbox. It can be, on the document, you can see different type of the, say, very unstructured data can be, and Azure AI Document Intelligence is focusing on extracting data and understanding this data. Next point, it is a pre-built models. It is a designed and trained models that are, ready for using from the scratch on the different type of the documents. There's receipts, invoices, different identity cards. It is very important that you don't need to prepare a big data set. You don't need to do that because Azure did it and you can use it. And next point, customization. We faced with that, a lot of the services is pretty good. It is ready, but clients want some different, a little bit document structure, use case, behavior flows, and etc. So we almost always need to customize somehow this service. And in this case, Azure AI Document Intelligence helps with that because this service allows you to learn your own model on the pre-built some models or the different type of the models, so you can create your own model based on the AI Document Intelligence. So back to pre-built models. Here it is a list of, not all list, it is for me, from my perspective, it is a really major pre-built models that AI document intelligence provides you. It is a processing invoice receipt, identity, health insurance, and credit debit card. So when we're talking about invoice and what we have when we use some pre-built models, that we send image or document with invoice, and we will return, our service will return information, extracted data, just a simple JSON file with the key information from this invoice. This model mentions you that it is a tax, it is the amount, it is a price, it is a count. So this model provides you all of the information from invoice and what's going on in this invoice, yeah, names, etc. The same receipt. It's a pretty similar stuff, yeah, about products, about sales. And here is the same. It is a identifier, some tax data, some amount, count, price. And when you use these models, you can automate a lot of the stuff around reporting, around accounting, and around taxing. So yeah, it is really, really helpful for your business, and you can automate it. About identity. We used this service, and I see that we can use this service in cases when you need to extract data about your user person, so we can validate this user, and after that we can trust this user, in system where it is very important that this person, it is this person. A lot of the business cases when we need to make sure that this person is this person, this model can help you to understand and identify this person by extracting data from identity document. So you can automate, some check-in process, some medical information, some financial. So a lot of the places when you can automate this process, business process. Sorry. Next one, it is a health insurance. Of course, in health industry, we have a lot of the different type of the documents, forms, structures, and etc. But in this case, it is a more popular documents is covered, so you can use it if you need extract data from the health insurance, and of course, credit and debit card. It can. But again, about customization, and you need to work with some custom type of the document, or pre-built model cannot process by the right way this document. You need to explain this model how exactly need to process. And in this case, we have three types of the customization. First one, it is a custom template, and in this case it is very helpful and easy to work with the structured document. So we know that this type of the document will have this structure and never be another, and we can just label this document and we'll show model and train this model that what exactly data is on this document in place. So this model will recognize, will classify object detection models, a lot of the stuff, will extract key data that you need based on your template. Next one, it is more custom neural. It is more difficult, and more for difficult structure of the document, different data in the document, and this type of the model will help you work with the more unstructured documents or fully unstructured documents, and will be more clearly and will have better quality. But on the other hand, you need to spend more time on train this model, because you need all the type of the documents, you need all the structure that can be in your documents. So it is a better quality, but you need to spend more time on training. And next, it is a composed. So you can combine different models together for processing the documents and choose better, better extracting, better result by the different models. So you can train few models by the different documents, combine them, and work with that. This is really helpful, really cool, and usable. But anyway, we can work with AI, yeah, but without good infrastructure, without good architecture around the AI, around your core business, it will be useless. So I will tell you about pipeline architecture. It is, actually it is an event drive architecture, but I will explain why it is a more pipeline. What is a pipeline here in this event drive architecture? So here, pipeline architecture, it is we have one component that can receive for example, can receive the document, recognize this document, validate this document, and send a result of this component to another component. And output from one component will be input for another one, and we can build chain, or we can build pipeline from these components together and create some flow, some pipeline for processing, some business processing, And in case, in pet project that I have, I used serverless approach. So what is a serverless? We have serverless and stateful. Stateless, stateful, serverless. Serverless approach, it is a type of the services, type of the component that doesn't have any state and can be shut down and can run up and scaling as needed. And here, when we choose serverless approach, we have benefits and we have challenges, of course. And in one hand, we have event drive architecture. When we use serverless event drive, it's a beautiful combination. We have auto scaling because when we don't need to store state, we can create or up instances as you wish, as you need for your business, and cost efficiency that we can shut down all of them if we don't need to. And operational efficiency, it is more about that we can split, we can create components for focusing, for processing that you need in this component. It is I will explain a little bit more on the example, but here you can see that we can split or separate your big business process on the different steps you can isolate it and you can operate only with that. Some of the chain, some of the step of your business process can be more difficult and can take more time, and you can scale only this component, and another one will wait and can be more or less, will use less resources. But when we choose serverless, we have challenges. And first of them, it is a cold start. Of course, all our cloud providers are working on reduce this time, some workarounds, create different steps how to, decrease this problem. But anyway, you can face with this. Cold starts, it means when and again, when we're talking about serverless approach, it is more about Azure functions. It is more about lambdas, cloud function in GCP. Yeah. So, and in this case, for example, Azure functions, when you don't use Azure functions some period of the time, when in your service bus is not sending messages some period of the time, Azure function is checking this queue and will increase time of the checking. And in the moment you can face that it can take a long period of the time between checking, and it is a one problem. Another one that cold start, that files, artifacts with these Azure functions is stored in one place. For running Azure takes this file, start virtual machines, running this file, so it will take some period of the time. Next point, it is a vendor lock-in. It means that if you create an Azure function that will be triggered on service bus queue, will be really hard to migrate on another one, cloud provider, or use on-premise. So you need to understand that if you choose this serverless approach, really painful to migrate to another cloud providers. And complexity in monitoring and debugging, it is more about maybe not a serverless, but it is a combination of serverless and event-driven architecture, pipeline, and you can, you need to configure a lot of the stuff for better monitoring, for better logging stuff. And when you want to debug something, of course, if you need to check only one component in your system, it is really easy to do. But sometimes you need to check end-to-end this process, and you need to run all the functions, all of the stuff. If it is some cloud services, you need to run it as well, configure, debug, and so on. So sometimes it can be very complex and very hard to do. And when we're talking about serverless approach, a really good example, it is RESTful API. It is a real-time stream processing that we just processing and forgot about state. So yeah, and example, architecture overview. Here you can see simple, very simple architecture with using Azure AI Document Intelligence and the infrastructure around it. So we have simple app service for the API. We have blob It is a account storage and blobs where we are storing files itself. So we are not transferring file by network. We store in the blob, and Azure will help to transfer this file where we need. And you can see the database, it is a Cosmos DB, so it can be SQL, it can be non-relation. So a lot of the type of the APIs, you can use it here. So we are storing some metadata or business data around your business process. So around your document, around your rules, what is the file itself, some metadata about this document, and so on. And we have three Azure functions for recognition, for processing, and for storing result. And we have queues and topics from the service bus for notifying what exactly need to do in this moment. Sorry. So yeah, continue. And you can see here how it works, yeah, but I will explain a little bit more about pipeline. Where here pipeline itself. So first of all, API creating a blob. Next one, recognition engine trigger it on the blob, so you can create a function that can trigger it by blob. So when some files is uploaded to the blob, this function is triggered and fetching a blob itself and can process it somehow. In our case, it Azure AI document intelligence, but truly here can be a different type of the integration, and we know that this component is focusing only on this recognition stuff. So we are fetching information, extracting data from the document. We can somehow to map on our data structure, and send result in the queue for processing this file, processing data from this file by the different business rules. So we send this message, this event in the queue, processing invoice engine is triggered by this event, by this message, and process it. This engine, this component can use different type of the integrations itself, but main goal of the component to process this file, by the different business rules, by the different business requirements. So this component processing this document, data from this document, it can be calculating, it can be structured, it can be measured, and so on. So a lot of the business case can be here. So we process it somehow here and send result in the topic. Why it's topic? Because you can face with a successful case or error case, or whatever, or we need to send in the topic for notification about some urgent events, and so on. So here we can have a different ways for completing, but anyway, in the end, we have store result engine. This component will store result in the database, can notify somebody by the mail or SMS or another integration. So it is just a storing result. It is an end line of the pipeline. So it is a pretty good that you can, manipulate. You can clearly see all of the components. You can, you can develop only one component in, you know about integrations, you know about the, data that can be input, output, and so on. But what is another benefit from this pipeline? That you can send your event in the, exclude something in this pipeline. So, for example, you send a document, your system will process it as store a result, but in the scope of the document, you see that you need to change business rules for processing these documents. So we need to process this data by another way, by the another rules. And you don't need to extract data from the document again, because document is not changed. Data in this document the same. Only one thing that you need to do, it is process it again by the different business rules. So you can use this API, of course, or another component for sending another data shape for processing in the queue. And you can exclude this recognition process. And you will start, you just start this pipeline from another place, but the different inputs, and you can save your resources, time, and continue work by your regular flow. It is really good and helpful for you. And on the end, here it is what are the possibilities, what is the price for services. In my pet project, I found these results. So you can see that in the start of the using services, I mean start of the sending documents, you can see that it is less so if we don't use these services, we need to pay for some around login, storage, and so on around our usage, yeah. But when you start sending documents, you can see that price of the services is increasing, and in and you can see here that it is around I believe 10,000. You can see that it is a increase is really fast, because we are start use next level of the subscriptions for document intelligence, for services from Azure. And after that, you can see that increasing is really linear and very expectable. And you can see that, again, I wrote here per month, but it is not about months, it is more about count of the processing, yeah. And if you process per month around 100 documents, you will spend around $516. Of course, it is a big amount and big price, but very important point here that we really save resources, save money during development, because we don't need to prepare data set. We don't need to hire data science engineers for training the models, for prepare the data, and so on. We just start use, and by this reason, we spend more time, more money. But for POC, for MVP, I see it is a really good start. So finally, you can see from our presentations that Azure AI Services provides you a big amount services, toolkits for creating a really good AI solutions from the ground up. Also, if you need to customize, if you need to create your own models, Azure provides ML ops and machine learning and different type of the services for learning, for machine learning stuff. Next point about architecture, that in case when you use this pipeline architecture, pipeline processing, you will have a strongly sequence of the points of the components in your process, and you can manipulate with it. You can skip some steps, you can understand what's going on in the different components, but of course, yeah, it is a more complexity to monitor and to debug. And last one here, it is about serverless, that if you choose serverless approach, especially it is Azure Functions, that means that you will have powerful and very, very scalability system. It is very important if you need to process a lot of the data or so on. And it is a really cheaper, because if you don't use it, you will not pay for it. And in the end of the pipeline architecture, serverless approach, that you are focusing on the writing code for your business, and you will not spend a lot of the time on non-functionality requirements and non-functionality features around your business. So it is a very helpful for developers for starting and so on. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. And in this QR code, you can find me in the LinkedIn, or you can send me email if you want with the questions or comments, whatever. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mykola. That was absolutely fantastic. Really, really good, comprehensive kind of glance through all of those different components that we got at our disposal, right, on Azure. But yeah, huge thanks for that. Really good, really good. Just looking at the chat now, I don't know that I think some of those questions, I was going to attempt to answer Young's question, where he says, has the name changed for Azure Bot Services? Now, didn't Microsoft just put the letters AI in front of most things as a marketing exercise, and that was pretty much it? But I know there was Document Intelligence was one that was renamed from the Forms Recognizer. But I did try and have a quick search. I think there was just some marketing changes in namings, wasn't there? From
yes, memory. Yeah, it is. It is more about agree. It is more about marketing stuff. I know that. Yeah. Last time they, I mean Microsoft, combining and after creation AI Studio and after demonstrate AI Studio, it is changed, combining, shifting, but you know, it is my about bot services, especially in cognitive services. It is my old memory about it.
No, you and me both, but no, I don't think there's Young is just asking if there's any demos available. I think the answer to that is probably
not yet. It is not first time that I got this question. I hope that in few months I will put all of my pet projects in my GitHub account, and I will share with you, and .NET Aspire examples, and this example as well.
No, that's fantastic. No, huge thanks for kind of giving us your time again, Mykola. That was really good. Anything from you, Matt, you wanted to add to that? I think
no, it was great stuff. Great stuff.
Thank
super
you.
duper. Well, look, feel free to stick around and join in the quiz now. Massive thanks for that. So yes, without further ado, if everybody wants to use that react button or come off mute and show your appreciation for Mykola's talk. Huge thanks. That was absolutely brilliant.
I see questions about pricing. This is good.
Yeah, So you had that slide, didn't you, about the insights in pricing on some of the components, right?
Yeah, it is a together. It is a complete together. I mean, log stuff, storing data, training before using the AI documented intelligence. So the complex.
Yeah, I think in my kind of experience, what I've seen some of the customers that I work with, storage is a lot of the cost. So where you can use pipeline and real-time kind of analytics and things, that you don't necessarily need to use too much storage, then you're probably not going to go too far wrong. I mean, there's a lot of different kind of patterns and anti-patterns that you should probably look out for as well. So it's a case of, that's my experience, read up on some of those, depending on your use case, right? Because when you're joining things like service bus to different queues or components, then yeah, you've got to keep a beady eye on some of those costs, because you can get them to spiral out of control if you're not careful. But saying that, man, there's a lot of free tiers as well, and a lot of componentry, right?
Yeah.
So, but cool. Okay, should we crack on with the quiz, Mr. Fatunka?
Yep, I shall get everything set up. What we're gonna do? We got about a dozen people on.
We have, yeah. We got there's probably about 10 of us taking part. Well, I won't be winning anything, of course, but
so we're gonna do top 1 and 2 ebooks. Or top 2 ebooks.
Yeah, should we do a voucher to first prize?
Yeah.
Second and third get the ebooks.
Okay.
Do you reckon?
I think that's a cracking idea.
And so the ebooks from memory are, you've got an IoT handbook packet ebook and CI/CD pipeline using Azure DevOps.
Yep.
So get on your mobile devices or your web browsers. I'm going to join in for fun. We did one of these, Matt, at our all hands last week.
What, using Quizzer?
It wasn't using Quizzer. They were actually using Kahoot.
Oh, wow. Someone's got a license again, have they?
Yeah. So out of about 150 people, I came about 80th.
Nice.
So I like to join these ones because it makes me feel better.
Nice.
Copilot.
Who's checking Copilot?
I know. That's the
You'll appreciate the first question. It's good, rich pickings for questions this month, because it was build. So we've got a whole load of announcements. There was a whole load of Surface news coming through as well. So
it was, yeah. I noticed a lot of that. Yeah. We still 1 or 2 short. Anybody struggling to get in?
There we go.
There we are. There's one more. So
you've overflowed me my text limit.
So see, this you've just got to give it to users, haven't you, Matt? They'll find all your bugs.
I'm gonna have to raise a ticket for it now. Right, okay, that's 10. I'm gonna start. Unless anyone's struggling.
Anybody got a problem?
5,
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
3, 2, 1, and off we go. How many mentions of the word Copilot were in the Microsoft Build Book of News? I can assure you, it was quite a lot. 182 mentions. 4 of you got that one. That's good. Next question. What does RAG stand for in the context of AI? Is it random AI guess, resource Azure gadget, rapid AI generation, or retrieval augmented generation? Yeah, I think most of you knew that one.
Get in.
Which of the Azure services did not have a Copilot referenced at build? Because there were lots of Copilot mentioned.
That is a tricky one. If I got this one, my God, is there really a Copilot for Azure Migrate?
Yes, there is.
No way. Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's one coming anyway.
Oh,
which of the following is not part of Azure Cognitive Services?
Oh. Yet.
Yeah. Yes. Not this week, anyway. The data doing AI quizzes is that the answer could be out of date by the time you get to fingerprint analyzer. We haven't quite got there yet. Which new AI feature on Windows that recorded all activity has been delayed due to privacy concerns?
Oh, I saw that the other day. Yeah, that's a bit of a blow, really, isn't it? That
a fascinating bit of tech, yeah. But yeah, I think we need to sort out where some of that data is stored first. The answer is recall. What's the name given to the new Windows PCs containing a neural processing unit?
Know what you did last summer. AI inside, I like that.
They are Copilot Plus machines. Again, nothing like the overusing a term, is there? What's the default timeout duration for a function running on a consumption panel in Azure Functions?
God.
I've thrown this one in because it was a GPT-generated quiz question. And I had to go and validate it to make sure it was right.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
5 minutes. That split people up a bit. Which of the following types of data storage is not offered by Azure Storage? This again was another GPT-generated question. They're quite good.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. Do you find you're using it much when you generate the query? You having to put manual questions in?
I put a lot more manual questions in because it doesn't cope well with up-to-date data, and I want to make sure that the stuff we've got in.
I suppose. Yeah.
I've got plans to do some interesting stuff around it though, but that might be another talk.
Very cool.
What's the name of the new tool in preview at GitHub that takes developers from idea to code quickly? It was a kind of low-key announcement. Actually, and all the videos was all the demos was a former guest of the show, as in Mr. Chris Reddington was on doing those demos.
Was he in there already?
GitHub Copilot Workspaces. So.
Workspaces. Okay, that's interesting. Wow.
It's very
like compounding terms. I know what GitHub Copilot is, and I know what GitHub Workspaces are.
Yeah.
But you stick the two together, and you've got even more magic.
Now, yeah. Who has signed a deal? Who's Microsoft signed a deal with to become the Surface repair partner in the UK?
Oh! I tell you who I'm going for, because my friend of mine has just got a job there, so I'm going to go for that.
It was Curry.
I was right. Yeah. I wondered why he got a job there.
Congratulations.
There we go. Right. Okay. So that's I'm going to take a little snip of that actually, Matt.
Yep.
So who is Copilot? Put your I'll tell you what, first
it was me,
first
John.
Harsh, I think that's you.
Yeah.
Is that you, Graham? No, who was it?
Alan.
Alan. It's going to be Alan, isn't it?
I thought you knew that the minute I put it.
Do you know, I looked for your name. I couldn't see you at the top. You've got a funny guest sign in. So Simon, that is Barrett. Yeah, Simon Barrett, that's you. And then Harsh, do me a favor, Simon, if you don't mind dropping your chat in the chat, your email in the chat, do that for me. Otherwise, just ping it to me on LinkedIn or something. Do the same, Alan, usual form, yeah. So Harsh, £25 Amazon voucher. I'll get that over to you ASAP, and then Simon, the IoT handbook, and Alan, CI/CD handbook for you, ebook.
Ooh,
There we go. Super duper. Let me quickly don't
really
move your
needed.
screen a sec. Just quickly take a step so I don't forget.
I didn't like that Go Pilot Workspace as well.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, it's like they've
Doesn't
put everything together there, haven't they?
Yeah, but it doesn't really imply what it's supposed to do. You know,
It's magic.
I would agree. I would watch
they
the
should have
demo.
picked multi-point. Frankly, that would have been a better one.
That's a bit like multi-pass, though, isn't it? That was a Fifth Element kind of jive there, Matt, with that multi-point or
Well, it could have been.
multi-pass.
What's the special element? 1112 or whatever.
I would recommend watching the videos for GitHub Copilot Workspaces. It's a very interesting idea.
But the prices of some of their stuff are getting mental, though.
I would agree. But I guess the argument is, if it's saving you like an hour a week, that's a significant saving on a salary.
It depends on who you work for.
Also true.
It depends what application you're developing, of course.
Yeah, but so I don't do apps now. I'm an infra guy, so it's like, I do actually have GitHub Copilot, but it's okay. But it doesn't. I don't find it a massive benefit, But you're looking at some of the, when they stagger it up from 10 to 19 to 39, and then I watched the GitHub Advanced Security, which you can use. Ironically, it's like stop using the same words all over the place, because the Advanced Security can be used in GitHub or Azure DevOps, but the pricing for that is astronomical.
Well, technically, it's a different product in Azure DevOps, because it's officially called something like GitHub Advanced Security for Azure DevOps something. It's got a ridiculous name to it. But yeah, yes, I would agree. But again, it's like, what's it saving you? Like, at some point, you look at the
yeah, but if you've got a lot of so we have some devs and stuff, but we have loads of little repos that have got which would be nice to put that kind of stuff on, but the bill would be off the Richter scale, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the flip side. Is I don't think it's going to be for everyone.
No, but it frustrates me when people keep bringing out security things and saying, "Oh, you should be," and they put a score up or they put a whatever, or a tick box list or whatever, and every single item on it costs you extra money,
Yeah.
But your feedback has been noted there, Mr. Florence.
It absolutely has. Yeah.
It's to be honest, it's been noted by many people. So we'll see. It's like anything. The more people use it, the cheaper it gets, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure for some of these they're going to, they've obviously spotted that there's big cash cows available, potentially. Yeah, if you're a big commercial org, okay, they're going to go, well, whatever, we can pay for that. We're going to be more secure, therefore we're happy to pay top dollar for everything, and
yeah.
Oh
yeah, 100%. I think I don't think you're wrong. I think it's like anything over time. I'm sure we'll see prices changing and fluctuating as things become more standard and more kind of ubiquitous, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's like I had somebody come into my previous place, which was also higher education, and when they came across Azure environment, yeah, it's got all this stuff on it, and then oh dear me, we should be ticking all those boxes.
Yeah,
and he didn't really understand any of the bit. I said, look, hang on. I said, I absolutely agree in a lot of respects, but all of those things on that list cost us a chunk of change, whether it's for 365 licensing or other elements of, Defendery type things. And then if you add on the fact that, you're in education, but if you don't have a massive cyber team or a massive dev team or a massive whatever, it's like some of those things help you. But when people just take them, well, our score's shocking. And you're just like, yes, but,
oh, absolutely. I don't disagree. But these things will turn around eventually, won't they? I'm sure. But
One day
anyhow,
I'll
come
get
on
out
then.
the
Let's
public sector.
yeah, let's bring this one to a close then.
Yeah, you're
So-
missing the Scotland game, John.
Is Scotland playing? I don't follow. Is that Euros? Is it?
Yeah, I
Oh.
was just taking the mickey because obviously, yeah.
Wales aren't in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
No, I didn't mean that. It's because it kicked off on the radio this morning going about Wales and Scotland. I'm thinking, why is this on the radio in the sense of, but apparently, because a lot of Welsh people had taken the mickey after the Germany result. So.
Do you know what? I've not actually. Well, I never follow the football ranting anyway. Do you know what I mean? It always flies above my head, so I'm the wrong person to ask about that sort of stuff.
Well, Scotland got thumped by Germany on Friday night.
Okay,
So
okay. I just smile and nod. I go, yeah, that's about as much as my limit of football, especially international. Don't mind the rugby. I watch the internationals rugby, football, another thing. Right, come on then. Let's bring it to a close.
Right.
Let's wrap this one up. Cheers, Alan. Right,
No worries.
firstly, huge thanks to our speakers, Harsh, Mykola. Really is a pleasure. Thank you for giving up your time again. 2 superb talks, and obviously we recorded it. We'll put this up on the YouTube playlist well over the next day or two, and we'll push that out. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining as per usual. Appreciate the numbers, appreciate the support for coming to the sessions. Like I say, if you can give us a little bit of feedback, either browsing over to that link or scan that QR code. Our next meetup is on the 24th of July, which is, I think it's the 4th Wednesday. So yeah, 24th of July. Just waiting for 1 or 2 things to get confirmed for our speakers for that session. But if you can bookmark it now, the meetup event will be up shortly within the next week, I'd imagine. And we shall hopefully see you all then. But for now, thank you ever so much for everybody joining. Congratulations to the quiz winners. And thank you all. And we'll see you in a month's time. Ta-ta for now.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy the next couple of days of summer.
Indeed, indeed. Have a good night.
Cheerio, thank you.
Take care.
See you soon. Cheers all.